Good morning, students of class 10th, section A, B, and C. I'm good to be here once again, and I'm sure you must have seen and listened to my previous YouTube explanation that I had given you from Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 2. That's what we are doing. I did lines 1 to 36. So today I'm continuing from lines 37 and I'll go till 120. So as I told you, you need to, first of all, you need to take your book with you, take a pencil or a pen with whatever you want to write the meaning in your passage that I'm going to work on with you today. And I know that even if you listen to this YouTube, you still will require your own notes. So therefore, you can go as many times you want and you can write your notes in the book itself as I keep giving you the explanation of today's passage. So another thing is that I still see some of you have still not seen or listened to my video that I had sent this morning. If you think that you can finish this at the last moment, I'm sorry, you won't be able to get it at the last moment. So as I'm giving you line by line explanation, you need to do it on the daily basis so that you are able to recollect and remember what I'm teaching you through this YouTube channel of mine. You need to like the channel and comment and subscribe to it so that you get the next video of my clipping. The message will be given to you that I have uploaded the next YouTube explanation. So you need to comment and you also need to subscribe to my channel. So with that, yesterday I was doing Merchant of Venice Act 3 Scene 2 first 36 lines, and I was trying to tell you, Bassanio and Portia are in love and they are trying to confess their love to each other. But at the same time, Bassanio has to go through the game of contest for 3 caskets. He has to choose the right one. And Portia has a fear that if he does not choose, then what is going to happen? He will have to go back like the other suitors. So that's the fear Portia has in her mind. So I finished up to line 36. Well then, confess and live. That was your line that I left yesterday. And we begin with page 146 with Bassanio as the speaker. There is again a big speech coming up with Portia. There's again another speech coming by Bassanio before he really goes into choosing the right caskets. So we see here the speaker is Bassanio. And before he can go and choose the casket, he is trying to confess his love for Portia, his lady love. So when we look at here, there are 2 words here on page 146, right on the first line, confess and love. Okay, this is the whole essence of love. When 2 people are falling in love, they tell each other they are in love, and therefore they confess about the other person, how closely they are going to be together in love. So here, confess also is referred to here as a happy torture for Bassanio. Okay, when we look at confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. That's what he has been trying to tell Portia, and that is the essence of my love, which I want to confess to you. Oh, happy torment, as I told you, this confession that he's making to Portia is a happy torment. It's not a sad one. He is enjoying that. And when my torturer, okay, now torturer here refers to Portia, okay. Now my here is Bassanio. So as I keep telling you who is who, please keep writing as you listen to this YouTube explanation. When my here refers to Bassanio, and torturer here refers to Portia, doth teach me answers for deliverance. Now, what kind of deliverance is Bassanio wanting it here? He wants to get rid of the deliverance from the casket that he has to choose. So, the sooner he chooses, he will deliver himself from, he will be liberated, and his mind will not be on the rack, he will not be disturbed. So it says, "Doth teach me answers for deliverance." This is how Portia is talking to him. And as Portia speaks to him, that's what Bassanio thinks she is his teacher. But let me to my fortune and the caskets. Okay, now here he's asking Portia to take him to his fortune. What is the fortune? Choosing of the right casket. The three caskets, as we've already studied earlier: gold, silver, and bronze. Now here we have Portia is ready now to take him to the place where the caskets are placed. And so she says, "Away." Away means go ahead. Go ahead. That's what she says. Away then. That means you need to go ahead. I am locked in one of them. Okay, I here is Portia. Locked in one of them is out of those three cascades, Portia's portrait is in one. Okay, so therefore she says, I am locked in one of them. So you'll have to find in which one I am locked. Okay, if you do love me, you'll find me out. Okay, there is a condition which Portia is trying to tell you. If you do love me, you'll find me out. You will find the right casket. This is what she's trying to hint at Bassanio. If you love me. So there's again a condition uh, put forth by Portia for Bassanio, and she knows that that if is not going to be there because he really loves her, and says, "You'll find me out." Narissa and the rest stand all aloof, all aloof. Now here we see, "Away then I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out." These two lines Portia is addressing to Bassanio. Okay. When we come to the third line, that is Narissa and the rest. Okay, which means Narissa is standing there. There is Graciano standing there. There is other attendants of Portia were all standing at one, very close to them as these two are talking. Now she wants them to move away. Okay, let Bassanio be left alone with the caskets. So she does not want them to come close to Bassanio as he takes his decision to choose the right casket. So therefore she says, Narissa and the rest. Rest here refers to the attendants which Portia has here in this room standing. It says, stand all aloof, which means only Bassanio should be here with me. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Okay. Now here we have noticed another thing. I said confess and love. Portia is really in love with Bassanio, and she has not played music. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Now she is trying to play a music for Bassanio, giving him the chance to listen to the music and make his right choice. And the music is not loud enough, it's just a soft music that she's playing for Bassanio. That shows that she's truly in love with Bassanio. Let music sound while he here refers to Bassanio. Please, you can make your notes there in your book. He refers to, he doth make his choice of the three caskets, gold, silver, and bronze. Lead. So yeah, then if he lose, okay, now here she says, if he lose, here he, again there is a condition of if. I always say, if has condition. If chooses good, if he doesn't choose, bad. Okay, the two only. If tells us two sides of a story, positive or negative. So here she says, then if he choose, if he lose, here again he is Bassanio. He makes a swan like and. Now this is a kind of a phrase which Shakespeare has introduced here. Swan like and. So when you look at the swan, he dies moving on the surface of the water. So that's the and of swan. So she uses the word here. She says, if he lose, he makes swan like an fading in music. That means the music also will be fading. That the comparison may stand more proper. My eye shall be stream and watery death for him. Okay, him here again is, we see here Portia. He says, swan like an Portia and Bassanio. Okay, this is for both of them. When you look at Swan like an, my eyes will be full of tears, which will be like the stream and watery deathbed. Okay, the two things compared here, she says, uh, fading in music that the comparison may stand may more proper. My eye shall be stream. Okay, my here is Portia. She says, if he loses, she's going to really cry out, um, like the stream's water flowing. Okay, that's how she's going to feel. And it says, but for Bassanio, it's going to be death bed for him. Okay, that means he will have no other choice. He is kind of a death for him. So therefore, she uses if he lose. Okay, that is when if he is losing. Okay, then he says, and then she says he may win. Okay, there are two things going in the mind of Portia. She says he may win. Okay, how can he win? By choosing the right casket, he has to choose the right one in which the portrait of Portia is there. So if he wins, again we say the music is going to be very happy kind of a music. And then music is even as a flourish here, prosper, okay, happiness, joy. That is what is going to happen if Bassanio wins the contest. When the true subjects bow, okay. All my subjects here refer to all her attendants and servants who are with Portia. So she says here, when true subjects bow, that means all my attendants, all my servants are going to bow down before Bassanio to a new crowned monarch. Okay, they are going to bow down to Bassanio, who's going to be the new ruler of her mansion. Okay, and such it is as are those dulcet sounds in the break of the day. Okay, so this is going to be the kind of music we hear in the early part of the morning. It's a dulcet and sweet music coming out in the early part of the day, and we know who brings that music, the birds. Okay, so here it says, are those dulcet sound in the break of the day, the beginning of the day, we hear a sound music and that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear. Okay, that music is going to be going on in the ears of Bassanio, and then it says bridegroom. She calls him a bridegroom here. That is, if he is going to win, he is going to be the bridegroom, and then the music is going to be sounding into his ear. That is going to be a joy for him and for me, and then he will be called in for the marriage and summon him to marriage. Summon here is called, him here is Bassanio, to marriage of Portia and Bassanio. Now he goes, okay, now she says, he here is again is Bassanio, with no less presence, okay, even though he is right now not chosen the right casket, he still has the same respect that he would be given after he wins the contest. That means, uh, therefore, she is giving him giving him a royal treatment here, giving him a very respectful uh, kind of a treatment, which Bassanio is getting from Portia and her servants and attendants, but with much more love. Okay, once he wins, it's going to be more love for him, with no less presence, with no less, okay. Uh, the respect will be nothing less than what he is given now. So he would be given more respect, more love. And it says, then this is compared to then young Alcides, okay, Alcides or Alcides, when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy to the sea monster, I stand for sacrifice. The rest aloof are the Dardanian wives, with bleared visages come forth to view. The issue of the exploit, O Hercules, live thou, I live with much, much more dismay. I view the fight, then thou that makest the fray. So here we have Alcides or Alcides, some of them pronounce it as. He is compared to Hercules. Now when you look at Hercules, is always known as a very strong character in the Grecian history, if I'm not mistaken. And therefore we see him here, Hercules is compared to uh, Alcides is compared to Hercules. Now here, Alcides is the character. Uh, he has a role here when he saved a Trojan prince. Okay, King of Troy had lost his daughter to a sea monster, and therefore the people of Troy were crying when the king of Troy had to give his daughter to the sea monster in the sea. And this is where Alcides comes into the picture. And he comes along, he fights with the sea monster, ultimately kills him, and saves the daughter of the king of Troy. And then it's not when he's killing the monster to get the hand of his daughter, Hesione, but he wants some of the horses from the king of Troy. So it is not to win the hand of the king of Troy's daughter, but to get horses from the king of Troy, which the king of Troy had promised him, if you save my daughter, I'll give you horses from my country. So here we see this is what is put here by Shakespeare. He said, then the young Alcides is the main character, when he did redeem means rescued or saved, you can call it, and says the virgin tribute. Now, virgin tribute refers to Hesione, Hesione. Okay, that's the name of the king's daughter, king of Troy's daughter. Okay, Hesione, Hesione. Okay, you can write it there. The virgin tribute paid by howling Troy of Troy. She was given out to the sea monster and paid by howling Troy. Okay, howling Troy here refers to the weeping people of the city of Troy. As she was taken by the sea monster, the whole of the city people and the women and the men, they all were crying for her because the sea monster had taken her. And I stand for sacrifice here. Okay. She was given as a sacrifice to the sea monster. So I here refers to Hesione, the daughter of King of Troy. Please, as you listen to this, you can write your explanation in your book itself. So then I stand for sacrifice. I here is Hesione, who's standing for sacrifice in front of the sea monster with bleared visages. Okay, now here she can see the people of Troy again. This is referred to the people of the Troy. Faces all full of sadness, full of grief for this young daughter of the king. And then comes to the view, the issue of the exploit, go Hercules. Now here, when she is bringing Alcides, and Alcides comes and saves, let's say, Hesione, the daughter of King of Troy, in the same manner, she is trying to tell uh, Bassanio, call him, go Hercules. Okay. and he has to go and win. That means when she says go Hercules, which means he has to go, and Portia is referring to Bassanio. So Hercules here refers to Bassanio. Now, why he has to go? To win the contest and win Portia in the same manner as Hesione was rescued by Alcides. Okay, so she says, go Hercules, live thou, I live. If you live, I will live. Okay. If you don't live, I will not live. That means that is the kind of love she has got for Bassanio, and she calls him Hercules. I view the fight, then thou makest the fray. Okay. It says, I will stand and see your test. Fray here means the test that she has to go through. And she says, I'm going to watch you. Which casket are you going to choose now? And win me. If you live, if you win, you live and I live. But if you don't win, you die and I die. Okay, so this is how she is trying to tell here. Music was Bassanio comments on the caskets to himself. I told you no music was played for the other suitors. So when we look at the suitors, uh, she is trying to give importance to Bassanio by playing music for him. So she says, comments on the caskets to himself. And now he's standing near the casket and commenting on himself. And there's a song which tells us, tell me where fancy is bred. Okay, fancy here means love. Okay, where you have love is born. Okay, tell me where is fancy bred, or in the heart or in the head. Is the love born in the head or in the heart? How be God thou nourished, and how is it nourished or taken care, nurture? Reply, reply. And then he says, talking to himself, said, reply, where is the love? And how is it born? How is it nurtured? It is engendered in the eyes. And then he talks to himself. The love is engendered, is born in the eyes, with gazing fed, okay, fed by the eyes, the looks that the two people get together, fall in love, and they look at each other, and then says, and fancy dies, okay, and in the eyes itself, the love remains there. In the cradle where it lies, okay, cradle is where uh, it is fed, beginning. Cradle is the beginning of one's love. Okay, it's not that you call it a cradle for the baby. It's the beginning life of the baby. So beginning of the love. Okay, is cradle. Let us all ring fancy's knell. Okay, now this is what it says. Fancy's knell. We have to ring the bell now, and says, I'll begin it. Ding dong bell. Okay, so he's ringing the bell on ding dong bell. So we see here how Bassanio is talking to himself before uh, actually coming and standing in front of those caskets. So now here we have Bassanio uh, is standing before the three caskets. So may the outward shows release themselves. Now when I was trying to go through this passage, and there are a number of things that I would like to tell you before I go line by line, okay, so that you have something in mind. So when we look at here, uh, something that tells us is outward appearance is deceptive. That's the main thought of this passage spoken by Bassanio, and he's looking at the casket and then trying to say it out. He says, world is deceived by outward beauty. Okay. The second one, it says the religion. He brings out the religion. The clergy, when they want to hide any evil, they begin to quote from the Bible and try to hide the evil. So that is another one. And then it says the court case. So when you look at uh, the lawyers, they bring a very flowery language, ornamental language to hide the actual truth and bring out the evil in the form of the truth. So this again is trying to say outward beauty is deceptive. And then it says The cowards, they are the ones, they try to show that they're very strong, but in reality, they are very scary. Even though they grow their beard, but then they are not strong, but they are cowards. Then there is another thing which Shakespeare has brought here is woman's beauty. When you look at the woman, very beautiful woman, all decorated, all putting all kinds of makeup and all hiding her different kind of marks on the body, on the face or other parts of the body. And she is a picture of artificial ornamental beauty. When we look at the hair of a pretty woman, these days we have, when we look at people, if they do not have good hair, the woman will go and buy any kind of hair and then they put it on their head and show that they are very beautiful. So here there's another one. And then there is the face of a dark Indian woman is hidden by a veil. Okay. And this is it's clever disguise used by cunning people to mislead with the vices of the man. Okay, men, when they look at the beautiful woman, they look at the beautiful ornament or the dress that they are wearing, and they have not seen the inner beauty and they are misled. So this is the main thought that Bassanio is bringing out in this passage that I'm going to continue from here. Okay, now here we are on page 148, according to my book. Bassanio, so may the outward shows be least themselves, the world is still deceived with ornament. Okay, he says the outward appearance have no um, real truth. Okay, beauty is only skin deep, not outward. The world is still deceived by ornament. People try and show, put up a brave front and they say, oh, they are very happy, but inside they are not happy. In law, now this is what it says in court. If the lawyer has to, in the court case, that is, case is a very bad situation, and lawyer feels if he has to win the court case, he would have to use the flowery language, and the truth will be hidden, and lie is going to come out, and this is how he's going to win this case anyhow. So here it says, in law, what plea so tainted and corrupted? Tainted here is you play with the words, okay. Evil, corrupt is evil, okay. But being seasoned with gracious voice, okay. How does all this tainted and corrupted things in the case are seasoned with a gracious voice, a flowery language, and then the judge who sits there, he is forced to believe what the lawyer is saying is right, okay. Obscure the show of evil in religion, okay. Now here, evil wins in the court of case. Now it says in religion, you say, in religion, what damned error? What is the error or the mistake or the sin is approved with the text? The priest, let's say, or the church person who's in charge of the church, he brings out, he says, in religion, what damned error, but some sober brow will bless it and approve it with a text. Text here refers to Bible. Sober brow, very serious face. The clergy is going to make and read from the Bible some quotes, which is going to hide again, twist the words of the Bible. And then this is again, not the real picture is coming out even in the religion. And then it says, sad faces, because the truth of the Bible is twisted. So therefore, it says, well, bless it and approve it with a text. Okay, so God has given this message. This is how it is. And he will give a different explanation. Make the people believe what he's telling is the ultimate truth. That is not the truth, but he's hiding the gross and the truth of the Bible. Okay. hiding the grossness with their ornament, fair ornament. Okay. Now, fair ornament here is the colorful language, the colorful words. They hide the truth, and ultimately, evil is coming up. There's no voice so simple but assume some mark of virtue on his outward parts. The most simple voice had some uh, outward resemblance in the virtue. Virtue is the quality. Okay. Vice is not a good thing to say. So here it says, uh, in the vice, in the evil, there's some resemblance to good quality, which the person who is using a kind of ornamental language, he tries to change it. How many cowards whose hearts are as false? Okay, how many cowards? If you look at in the world, you'll find every other person is a coward. He's scared of something or the other, but he tries to show he's a brave person. How many cowards whose hearts are as false as stairs of sand? Okay, the stairs of sand, where yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars. Okay, beards of Hercules, they put up a beard and then they say, okay, they're very brave, they're strong, like Hercules. Okay, so they, even though they are cowards, even though they are scary, they try to put up a brave front in front of the other people to show that they are very strong, they are not scared, but in their heart, in reality, they are cowards. Frowning Mars refers to the god of war, who is always angry. These cowards, they are, they show that they're very brave and they show through their anger so that the other person is going to get angry, is going to be scared and say, oh, see, even though I was scared, I tried to make him scared. I shouted at him, I did this, and this is how the cowards do. Who inward reached, who inward searched have livers white as milk, and those and these assume but well as excrement. To render them redoubted, look on beauty. Okay. Now here it says, who inward have searched livers none. If you look to these cowards, they will look like, uh, when you look at white as milk. Okay. Refers to cowards. When a person is scared, sometimes his facial expression changes. His either face becomes pale, or sometimes out of fear it becomes white. So white as milk. Okay. Who inward searched? When you search them in reality, you will find them. They are the actual cowards from inner part of their self. And these assume but well as excrement to render them redoubted. So when we look at, if you examine them carefully, they look like cowards, but in reality, by growing beard, they assume they are very eloquent, they are very strong. So here we see these people here, excrement here means appearance, okay. Valor here is courage, excrement is the appearance of these people, but inside they are white as milk. And these assume but well as excrement, these refers to the cowards. To render them redoubted. Okay, look on beauty. Next he comes to the look on beauty. It's a look on beauty. Beauty is what? A beautiful woman. Refers to the woman who is very beautiful. And you shall see the purchased by weight. Whatever makeup or whatever painting she has done, she has purchased from the market and made herself weighty or heavy by that artificial makeup, which therein works as a miracle in nature. Sometimes it works in a nature. People are, they feel, oh, very beautiful woman. And then they realize that this is all painted and you can get it. Yeah, they try to compare them with the beauty of nature, which is um, nature is in self is very beautiful. You can't compare the beauty of nature to a woman's beauty because she has artificial decoration that she has done or dressing up that she has, which therein works a miracle in nature, making them lighters that wear most of it. Those who are wearing most of the time, they try to, sometimes they make a heavy makeup, sometimes they make a light makeup. And then it says, so are those crisped, snaky, golden locks. Okay, crisped are the curly hairs of this young woman, the beautiful woman uh, who are in total makeup, who are dressed. And it says, golden locks are, they have the wavy hair, brown or golden kind of a hair that they have on their head, which makes such wanton gambols with the wind. Okay, what happens when the wind is blowing? The hair of these beautiful women also will be moving along with the wind. Okay, so there's a wavy kind of a movement of the hair, which makes them wanton. Wanton means to stay, gambles with the wind. Okay. Mischievously, the hair Raja's movement. There's movement in the hair of this beautiful woman upon supposed fairness, often known to be the dowry of second hand. Okay, it says the dowry of the second hand. It refers to, indirectly, is trying to say the hair that the lady is putting, the beautiful lady is putting on her head, is not her own hair, is the hair borrowed from the sepulchre, refers to the grave. Okay. In directly it says borrowed from somebody else, purchased from the shop, and then using it on her head. So this is how she says to be the dowry of a second hand. That means the hair of a beautiful woman are also artificial. They are not real. So in reality, everything in the world is what? Duplicate, artificial. Inside, when we look at, there is the actual truth of all these things. Thus, ornament is but the guile shore. Okay, and decorations are treacherous shore of the sea. Okay, what happens to the shore? When you stand near the shore, you can see the waves, waving. Okay. And then they look very beautiful. As they come on the shore, or they all vanish. Okay. In the middle of the sea, the waves are very beautiful. So here it says, to a most dangerous sea. These waves are very dangerous once you stand on the shore of the sea because they will come and hit you. And if there is some kind of a storm in the sea, and life becomes more dangerous for you. So therefore, the beauty of a woman, the hair that she has, the curly hair that she has, is compared to the shore of the sea. And they are more dangerous. The beauteous scarf veiling an Indian beauty in a word. Another thing that he's trying to bring out, a beautiful Indian woman, he calls her a dark woman, dark Indian beauty. Usually uh, compared to the beauty of Portia. Portia is white, beautiful woman, and dark Indian woman's beauty is compared to, her beauty is hidden in a veil or a scarf. Okay, she covers her head, she covers her face, and then she's moving all around. And the people who see her, they say, "Oh, very beautiful woman." So the beautiful woman is here, who is a dark woman, according to Shakespeare, and she is hiding her beauty in a veil. This is what Bassanio is trying to tell us here. When we look at here, the seeming truth which cunning times put on, okay, the truth that is put on here is what? To entrap the wisest. Okay. By hiding the truth and bringing out the evil or artificial things, you are trapping the wisest of the person. And he says, therefore thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas, I will none of thee. He says, now when you look at Midas, okay, he was king of Phrygia. And this man had a liking for gold. He was never satisfied the amount of gold he had in his kingdom. So he asked the uh, god, Apollo, he said, you grant me a wish. Whatever I touch, it should become gold. And Apollo said, okay, your wish is granted. So when the wish is granted, anything he's touching, it's becoming gold. The food when he's touching, it's becoming gold. Even his daughter becomes gold. And so then he cries, why have I asked for this uh, wish? So sometimes, we are never satisfied with something that we have in ourselves and we want more. So here it says, gold is something that you are never satisfied and you want more. So Bassanio says, I would not have thee. Thee here refers to gold. No, none of thee, thou pale and common drudge. Drudge here is silver. He says, I will not have you also, because you are silver coin, and men exchange you. You go from one hand to the other hand, so I am not going to choose you. He says, none of thee, thou pale and common drudge. Between man and man, you are going from one man to the other man, but thou meager lead refers to poor. Okay, nobody is paying attention to this lead casket. So thou, here is lead, which rather threatens than does promise. Okay, I will go for this because this is threatening. I will still go for it because it has a promise. Okay, the paleness moves me more than eloquence. Okay, even though the color of the lead is pale, but then he is more taken by the eloquence or the words written on this lead casket. And I here choose, and here choose I. What is he choosing? Joy be the consequence. Okay, we see here, finally he's choosing the lead casket and he says, joy be the consequence. So we are going to stop here at line 109. We continue from here tomorrow, and I will also give you, part of the language uh, in the same YouTube channel, in the same section. I will give you instruction on the language also. So I would again request you to please take your book and sit with pencil, write out the meaning of the passages or the words that I have given you through this YouTube channel. And I want you to subscribe to this channel so that you get the news of the next YouTube explanation of the class that I'm going to give it. So like and comment and learn it better. You can go over it over and over and again, and you feel it's just set in your mind. All the best. God bless you. Take care.